Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Joey again. You're watching Vegas D-Tech. Got another Lake Mead water report for you today. It's a nice day out here. We're looking at 66 degrees out in Vegas, March 18th. And I'm reporting you guys today from a little place out here. It's called Cornerstone Park. And I just thought it would be a nice, cool place to come bring you guys. A little bit of history on this spot over here. This park, actually, it was a quarry, a rock quarry. They were using all of these rocks here. They dug it all down and used all the rocks to fill in all these areas around here because it's a low-lying area, used up all of the rocks, and eventually they hit the water table, and then the water started percolating up out of the ground, and then storm waters would flow in to this area here, and they had to stop digging, and then it just sat out here since 2005. And then finally in 2012, they were able to get funding to turn this into an actual park and a wetland. So over here, this is all like a protected areas where wild birds and so forth can come in here and nest and roost and have their babies and such, and guys can't, man can't get in there. And so they have a nice little habitat, little wetland. Now initially there were plans here to actually put boat docks. They were gonna put boat docks and make it fishing, where you could actually fish here. Nice family area, I can even see the poles in the water down around here. And I'm gonna send up the bird so you guys can have an aerial footage here of what it actually looks like. So let's go ahead and get that thing going. All right, yes, so they initially made this thing here and they had proposals for a boat dock for fishing areas. However, the water authority says that after rainfall, the way the storm water is pushed into this place, there's lots of oil and stuff from the street that flows in, plus other contaminants, and they just can't control or clean the water as it gets in, and it wouldn't be good for people to fish and to come in here and eat that fish, let alone go boating out in there and mess around in the water, and it gets really dirty because when the storm waters do flow in from that from the storm channel over there, it gets so dirty out here that this place becomes really filthy, and they got to skim it and get all that stuff out of here. So yeah. Now what's funny is that before this lake was actually called Cornerstone Park, it actually had a nickname, and it was called Perchlorate Park, because perchlorate is something that they found as a byproduct as they were quarrying up the rocks out of here. And perchlorate is part of the chemical composition made in rocket fuel, and rocket fuel was made here a while ago back in the 80s out at Pepcon, which was in Deep Henderson. But yeah, they were finding perchlorate inside this lake, and over the years of the storm waters washing through it, and they're allowing the storm waters to drain through, the levels of perchlorate have dropped down to a very trace amount, and they've deemed that it's safe for people to actually be around here, and it's just a natural wetland and a storm control channel. But anyways, guys, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into the Lake Mead water report for today. All right, guys, so the current water level at Lake Mead today is 1,046.06 feet. And that was taken at 2 p.m. today. Now, this is something that's funny, guys. I've taken a look at the inflows. Normally, we have inflow data on a day-to-day basis, but I could not get any inflow data for the past 5 days. So something's up. For the past 5 days, I've been able to get zero inflow data. I can't get it. Take a look at this chart here. Nothing for the past 5 days. I can only give you the outflows. So the past outflows for 5 days have been 13,743 for today, 13,541, 12,628, 14,923, and 12,951. Okay, those are all the outflows, but nothing on the inflows. Now, normally I would just think that whatever Lake Powell is pushing out, that's what we're getting in as an inflow. But there's other things that contribute to that and take away from that, so it's not exactly the case. But what I find kind of strange is that how do you get a differential index? The differential index that tells us how much water we've dropped or gained. Using arithmetic, That's how you get that percentage, you know, of water level down or up for the day. But if you don't have any inflow data and you only have outflow data, how can you compute the water differential index? So in the past 5 days, guys, we've had an average inflow of 9,386 cubic feet of water coming in, and an average of 12,545 cubic feet per second flowing out. Now, what I find kind of odd is, like, how do you have a differential graph where you can tell how much water you've gained or lost for the day? How do you get that? Because you need arithmetic. You need the arithmetic to show what you've received and what you've given out, and the difference between the two will be your differential index. And how do you have that data available, but you don't have any inflow data available? I have no idea. Maybe you guys can help me out with that one. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the differential graph. All right, so if we take a look at the differential index for the day, we're looking like in the past 14 days here, we've had 3 days in the green with 11 days in the red. As of today, we've had 0.16 feet of gain, and yesterday we had 0.07 feet of gain, and our average is 0.06 feet of drop in the past 14 days. Now, if we actually take a look at the graph here for Lake Powell, Lake Powell's water level today is 3,520.47 feet. Now, I was actually shocked at that. I was like, wow, Lake Mead has 1,046 feet and Lake Powell has 3,520. Lake Powell's got a lot of water. But then I actually said, why is that? But actually, Lake Powell does not have 3,520 feet of water. That's just how they measure it above sea level. The actual water level at Lake Powell is like 560 feet on average. And in Lake Mead, the average water level is 532 feet. I don't even know why they have that level of above sea level, because it's almost, it's kind of corny. It's almost like, I have a bucket of water, and they're like, Joey, how much water do you have in your bucket? And I measure, I'm like, yeah, there's 9 inches of water in the bucket. And they write down 12 feet 9 inches. And I'm like, hey, why are you writing down 12 feet 9 inches? Well, that's above ground level, okay, because you live on the 2nd floor, and that's from your patio. So from your patio, you have 12 feet 9 inches of water. Like, dude, that is the most ridiculous number I've ever heard. My bucket has 9 inches of drinkable water. I don't got no 12 feet 9 inches of water. So a lot of people are misled into believing that Lake Mead has 1,047 feet of water. It doesn't. It has 532 feet, and Lake Powell has 560 feet. So those are the actual true levels of water at the lake. So if we actually take a look at the flow graphs here provided for Lake Powell, it's showing that in the past 4 days, they've been actually getting more water than they're releasing, surprisingly. They're showing that on the inflow for the past 4 days, we've got 9,054, 10,175, 12,079, and 9,034 coming in, and they're getting out 8,036, 7,936, 8,012, and 8,017. And so if you take a look at the average, though, you're looking at the average of 7,610 water coming in, and then they're releasing 7,878 going out. So basically, they're not holding any water. It's almost just like I said, I was telling you before, it's like they get water and they release it on a 1-to-1. So guys, if we take a look at the differential graph for Lake Powell, you're going to see in the past 14 days, we've had 9 days in the red and 5 days in the green. Okay, and those 5 days in the green, you've had an index of 0.3, 0.7, 0.13, and 0.03 feet of gains for the actual past 14 days, with an average drop of 0.01 feet. Now, you know, a lot of people have asked me, do you really think that this year will be as bad as the past, you know, few years? And to be honest with you, I think this year is going to be a better year. As far as the total water, I don't, you know, I know that the Water Authority has been saying that they expect that we're going to be losing, you know, what, 20 feet of water. I just don't see how that's possible. With all the storms that have been happening in Northern California, I mean, God, those places have had some critical storms, man. I mean, places just completely flooded out. And I just recently had family get stuck in Victorville trying to come out to visit us here the past week or so. And the rains have been so bad, and they've had snow and rains just trying to come through, and they've been like held back and the road has been blocked. They won't let anybody drive for like 4 hours of delays just trying to get from California here to Vegas. So, you know, where is all that water going? You know, sadly, I wish that that water that was coming in from Northern California would actually get to down to Southern California, because that's where they need the water. Northern California, all the lakes and all the reservoirs there are full. You know, they have no problems with water in Northern California. But it's down in Southern California where all the water problems exist, and that's the reason why we have these drought situations and restrictions, and it's all for Southern California. There has got to be a way that they can channel that water and bring it from Northern California down to the agriculture regions of Southern California where all the farmers can get to it. But sadly, I've been getting reports that all of that water, that storm water, just flows right out to the ocean and doesn't get saved, doesn't get channeled, and doesn't get brought to the people that actually need it. So if that continues to be the case, we're going to be right back where we started. Even if we had all these good months of storm water and snow up in the Rockies, it's still going to be the same thing again this year. I personally don't believe that the water level drop is going to be as bad as it was the past couple of years. It just can't be. Guys, in my humble opinion, if we had such a good season of snow and of rain, unprecedented amount of rain, if that doesn't change things and makes it better, we're in a world of hurt, because that type of weather doesn't happen very often. Unless you're going to see that weather pattern continue year after year, then maybe things will get better. But that, if we still have this water crisis where we can't control water, or we're using too much of it, even after all the events that we've been currently having here for the past few months, if we still are in a water crisis and we're in a drought again and the levels continue to drop another 20 feet, then we seriously have serious issues that can't be corrected by just good weather alone. Alrighty guys, that's all I have for you today. If you found any of this information beneficial, useful, or even entertaining, please do me a kindness, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of any future videos that I make concerning this type of a topic, and I will try to get the YouTube algorithm to put this on your home screen to where you can get to it. So anyways guys, that's all I have for you. Reporting to you here from Cornerstone Park here in Henderson. It's Joey, you're watching Vegas D-Tech. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. You guys be well. I'll catch you guys in the next video. You guys take care now. Bye.